Bro, I wasn't even planning to do an episode. I was just going on my jog on the family farm back home in Tuskegee. And as you can see, homeboy impeding my path. You see him? It's a little eastern copperhead. Yeah, across the street. I don't know why you just stand in the middle of the street. Don't make no sense. Go ahead. Shoot, you about worse than Florida traffic, boy. He chilling. You gonna stay? You just gonna lay right there, huh? All right. It's a little pure Pappas Carolinianus right here. Since apparently we filming an episode. Oh, you done? All right, bet. Right on. Thank you. Shoot, you about bad at Florida drivers, boy. I tell you what. All right, let me get my mic so we can do a real episode. Whew. All right, what's up, y'all? I'm coming off of my second run. We in Tuskegee. We in Tuskegee, Alabama, on the family farm, or on the trail to the family farm. So yeah, this is the next day. I had to go get my mic and whatnot. So welcome back to Mostly Plants. Oh, by the way, as it turns out, I got a few subscribers, which surprised the hell out of me. So thank y'all for rocking with me, all three of y'all. No, honestly, it's like, I don't know, like 10, I think, maybe like 7 or 8. Don't let me get lying to you. But since y'all subscribing and whatnot, let me know what other content you want to see, any extra content or whatever. And yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get into it. I kind of want to talk about some plants. I know y'all seen that snake, dude. That was I believe that was a copperhead. That was an eastern copperhead. I gotta go and look back in my film. I'm pretty sure I said it was an eastern copperhead, but that thing was huge, man. The camera didn't really do it justice, and it was chilling for the most part. You know, snakes, they like the morning sun. They're ectothermic, so they like to warm up. That morning sun, it'll warm them up without frying them, because it gets pretty hot in Alabama around this time. So yeah, but anyway, you know what? It's crazy right now because everything is just in full bloom, and I'm seeing a lot of stuff. Actually, not necessarily for the first time, but I'm just seeing it more in abundance. So we're gonna talk about these roses right here. Okay, you see these roses over here? I'm pretty sure these are climbing roses, or prairie roses as they call them, Rosa setigera. But well, I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into why I'm not 100% just yet. But first, let's look at this. I feel like this is a fleabane. If my camera will focus, it's a fleabane, Eurogerin. I feel like this is Eurogerin Philadelphicus, maybe. Don't quote me on that. As you can tell by the name, they call it fleabane because they thought it kept fleas away. I don't really know how accurate that is. As you can see by the disc florets and the ray florets, this is family Asteraceae, same family as sunflowers, dandelions. Of course, dandelions just have ray florets. They don't have disc florets. But actually, funnily enough, this flower does something similar to dandelions in that it has a pappus, or at least it will have a pappus after all of the florets dry out. Pappus just being a modified bract to help with wind-driven seed dispersal. So that's kind of a cool feature you'll see in different species of Asteraceae. Matter of fact, I swear I just walked past a chicory. Yep, I see it over there. Now, here's the thing. Mostly plants, folks. I don't really have a shirt on, and I'm not trying to get all stuck up. Pause. So we gonna keep walking along the sides to see if I can find a better example of that chicory. But anyway, you know what? I'm gonna have to get into stuff just to show y'all this rose anyway. So check this out. Oh, there's the other thing too, man. It's snake season out here. I'm not trying to get bit up. All right, so you see this right here? This rose. Okay. What I'm thinking is that it's a climbing rose. It could be that. It could be a swamp rose. I think it's a climbing rose, Rosa setigera. And as with most flowers in the Rosaceae family, it has hella stamens in the middle right here. And the part that's confusing for me and why I'm not 100% on the exact species of rose is because you get a lot of cultivars that have a lot of wacky features, right? So look. Here's the evidence. Here's the evidence. If I can get down here, check me out. So you got like these pinnately arranged leaflets, okay, on this leaf, and you got about 3 of them, which is characteristic of the Setigera species. And I feel like if I can find, you can't really see it too well from here, but it's gonna be, yep, I can see them. I don't know if y'all can see them. It's a couple stipules. It's about 2 stipules that are right on the base of this thing, okay, of this compound leaf. So that's what leads me to believe it's a Rosa setigera, but the petal count is what throws me off. So as far as a lot of native roses, and as a general rule of flowers in the Rosaceae family, you usually only get about 5 petals. So wild roses normally have 5 petals. However, roses that are cultivated are often cultivated with more petals as a result of just that one mutation being bred a lot for cultivars and stuff like that. So I'm not an expert on rose cultivation, but I imagine what happened is a lot of these native roses started cross-pollinating with somebody that might have cultivars in the area. But once again, don't quote me on that. But you can see these climbing roses are everywhere. It's actually my first time seeing them this numerous over here in this farm. But yeah, so that's the one kind of confusing thing about these roses. And just roses in general for me. I can't tell roses apart to save my life sometimes. But I feel like that's Rosa setigera. Once again, don't let me put no money on it. Oh man, okay. This is what I wanted to show y'all. And then we are gonna have to probably get in the thick of it to find one of these chicories, because I'm not seeing any on the edges. So you see here this blackberry. All right, genus, what genus is blackberry? What's that, rubus, I think? Now I'm not actually sure the species of these blackberries. They're growing wild. My grandfather does make wine out of them. For the most part, blackberries and blackberry lookalikes are pretty non-toxic to humans. So even if you don't completely know what you're eating, you're not gonna end up like Uncle Iroh on Avatar when he tried to make that tea. Once again, family Rosaceae. Where are the leaves on this thing? You see these little small, let me zoom my camera around here. These little small palmately arranged leaves. There it goes. These small palmate leaves. Okay, now here's the thing. These stalks are biennial, which means they go through their lifespan in 2 years. The roots are perennial. The roots will stay alive. The stalks they die back after a while. Now you can tell the difference between the ones that are in their second year, which are floricane, and the ones that are in their first year, which are primocane, I think. Now this is also a blackberry, okay, and it's not sterile. It's just in its primocane stalk stage. And the reason I could tell is because besides the fact that it's not bearing and doesn't even have flowers, look how much larger the leaf arrangement is. Once again, these palmately, it almost looked like a marijuana leaf for real if you just take it for what it is. But these large palmately arranged leaves in their second stage, when stalk comes back, the leaves are substantially smaller. Okay, so this is also a blackberry, but it's not ready to bear just yet. Now the funny thing about blackberries is we call them blackberries, right? But they're not actually berries. A berry is something like all right, this is gonna trip you out. A tomato is actually a berry. Okay, a tomato is a berry. a blueberry is a real berry, and a cranberry is a real berry. Now, what's the difference between them? Because technically, kind of a banana is a berry, if you really think about it. Now, berries come from one ovary. Okay, one ovary. These blackberries do not come from one ovary. These are what are these, aggregate fruits? They'll come from a division of ovaries from one flower. So all of these, and they got hella seeds in them. Okay, so that's the difference between a blackberry and a true berry, like a blueberry. Bars. What else can I really tell you about this plant? Yeah, that's about it. All of these little, you know how we were talking about drupes with mangoes and stuff like that? It's the same thing with all these little clusters around here. These are all small drupes, even though they're part of the same fruit. These are all their own individual drupes. So each of them have a ectocarp, a mesocarp, and an endocarp. But they're just so small we don't really notice. Yeah, that's really all I got to say about the blackberries. Now, I wanted to find me a chicory just so I could show y'all, but I don't really see any out here besides the one I saw way in the woods. And I don't have no shirt on. I'm not trying to get scratched up by all them thorns and pricklers and whatnot. I know that makes me sound a little dainty, but ow! I just got landed on by a horsefly. Let me look around a little bit. All right, you know what? Here go a chicory right here, and I hate to do it because it's getting pollinated. You come back. All right, well, anyway. You see this chicory right here? Now, it looks like a dandelion, right? Now, of course, it's not a dandelion, as you can tell by the disflorets inside, and it looks a little bit different. But if you're just looking at it first glance, it looks like a dandelion. Pyropappus carolinianus. So, of course, dandelions being in the Taraxacum genus. These are two completely different plants, both in the family Asteraceae, though. And as the generic name would suggest, this also creates a pappus, just like dandelions and just like those fleabanes. Okay, once these florets dry out, they will the pappus will emerge, and the seeds will be carried away by the wind, which is apomixis reproduction. Apomixis reproduction just meaning it's a method for asexual reproduction that allows a plant to propagate with genetically identical offspring. Now, of course, asexual reproduction means that they don't get to reap all the benefits of sexual reproduction. Get your mind out the gutter. I mean, creating genetically superior offspring, but that's okay. I mean, they still get to propagate. So, yeah, that's Pyropappus carolinianus. I think that's carolinianus. It's a desert chicory, also called a Texas dandelion. And, of course, right as I stop, I find a better. Look at that. That's just my luck. All right. Once again, it looks like a dandelion. It's the same thing. That's about it. The snakes are on good behavior today, which is good. Is that, what else do I want to talk about? You see, it's hella pines. I love how the air smells here because it just smells like pine. You know, you get away from all the city smells of South Florida. But I think that's all I really want to talk about. I'll keep walking, see if I find anything else. If not, we'll keep it pushing. So look here, you see how I was talking about the fleabanes, the Eurygeron philadelphicus. I think that's philadelphicus, and how they create that pappus, just like a dandelion. You see that? These are still fleabanes. These are Eurygeron, but you see they had a pappus. Okay, so a nice wind comes through and picks all these up. Apomixis reproduction. Fine at work. Let's go. You know what? Since we're walking past, I'm gonna say this one more thing about blackberries, and then I'll probably leave it. Let me get on over there. Once again, I'm kind of paranoid about snakes. Make sure you step heavy if you in the brush. Okay. I haven't been bit by a snake. I done been bit by a lot of stuff though. I done been bit by a black widow. I done been stung by a scorpion. hella jellyfish because I like to swim in the ocean. All right, check this out. So there's a lot of confusion sometimes between raspberries and blackberries because they can kind of look similar, and there are black raspberries. But one way you could tell the difference between the two, at least this is how I learned to tell the difference. You know, around this part of the country, everybody's grandparent got some sort of weird home remedy or, you know, little life hacks or whatever. When you pick a blackberry, the receptacle comes with it. Versus when you pick a raspberry, the receptacle stays on the plant. Okay, so raspberries will be kind of hollow. They'll form a cup when you pick them. Blackberries don't form a cup. The whole fruit picks. So if you really want to know how to tell the difference between the two, that's a way to tell it. Once again, you kind of have to pick the fruit in order to get there. But the good part about it is they're both edible anyway. So you're not gonna be out here looking like Uncle Iroh. So yeah, that's about it. So I'll holler at y'all later.